Hello. Today is day 31 of doing 100 pull-ups every day so that I can raise money for Alzheimer's disease. I have a link in my description that I put in every video that you can go to donate money to the Alzheimer's Society of Canada. The money goes all the money goes straight to them and they use it for research purposes. So with research, you gain more information about the disease, um, which helps develop better treatment for Alzheimer's and potentially a cure. We're a long way away from that, but you never know. So your money is not wasted, it's for a good cause, so please consider donating. Any size donation is greatly appreciated. And if you can't donate, consider sharing this video or the donation page link to someone who is willing to donate. So yeah, like every video, I'm going to do 100 pull-ups, but I'm going to do it a little bit differently today. I'm not going to do pull-ups on the minute. I'm going to try and do 100 pull-ups in the least amount of sets possible. So I'm going to start with a set of 20 and then maybe try and do as many sets of 20 as I can. However, I suspect I will probably only be able to do 1 or 2 sets max, and then I'll bring it down to maybe 15 or 10. But I won't be doing pull-ups on the minute like I usually do, so we'll see how it goes. I think it's going to be pretty hard, but just want to switch it up today. Also, today's a busy day, so I didn't get a chance to do any research or anything like that about an Alzheimer's fact, so I'm probably just going to talk about what I've talked about in the last few videos, just to reiterate a few things. I don't know. I'll figure it out as I go through it. Okay, so let's start with a set of 20. Hopefully it feels okay. 3, 2, 1, go. All right, that's 20. That felt easier than I thought it was going to be, so it's a good start. So, what did I talk about in the last few videos? I think I focused more on the caregivers. So, yeah, caregivers. And those videos were mostly directed towards people who are caregivers for their spouse or family member or friend. So, you're not getting paid for it. You have like nurses or special caregivers that are hired to take care of people with Alzheimer's. So that's a bit different because you're getting paid, that's their job. But when it's someone that you have an emotional connection with, I think it's a lot more difficult. Still difficult if you don't, but when you have an emotional connection with them, it's definitely harder. Solely based on the fact that you're seeing the person that you love kind of slip away from you, in the sense that they change how they are. Like the disease changes them. So it's almost like they die before like their soul dies before that they actually die. And sometimes you'll have a glimpse, you'll have good days where they're not as bad, like mentally. But it is it is something that causes depression in a lot of caregivers because it's hard to go through and it's not easy. It's a lot of work. Sometimes you have people with Alzheimer's that have a lot of anxiety and they don't remember you and they're scared of you, and it's like you're scared of the person that you love is scared of you because they don't even know who you are, and that's pretty sad. So I know for me, like with my grandmother, every time that I went to see her, I had to reintroduce myself, which is a little weird when you think about it. It's just it never really affected me like emotionally. I was too young to really care too much. I was just like, oh, this is normal, I guess. But looking back on it, it is kind of sad because I never really got to know my grandmother. So all that to say, I can definitely sympathize and understand why it's hard for caregivers to, take care of their loved ones or friend or whatever. Um, so it's really important to build a good support network. And if you don't have people around you, like friends or family, that are available to help you out, uh, there's the Alzheimer's Association. If you're in the United States, they can find help, or they can help you find resources that can help you out. And then if you're in Canada, the Alzheimer's Society of Canada is good. There's also uh, forums online, like I think it was Alt Connected, which is with Alzheimer's Association. There's the Reddit subreddit, so r dash Alzheimer's caregiver or something like that. Sorry. And then there's also support groups around the communities that you live in. So reach out to them; they could be really helpful, and then you can make friends also. You shouldn't feel like you're all alone or by yourself taking care of your loved one. And you might feel some guilt because you're having a hard time taking care of someone you love. It's like some people feel guilty because of that, but it's just hard to do. It doesn't matter. It's not an indication of how much you love them or anything or how much you care about them. It's just a really hard thing to do. So don't feel guilty. All right, arms feel good again. Let's go for another set of 20. Jeez, with the pump. So yeah, uh, out of here. And for the caregivers that do have friends and family around them that can help them out, I think in the last video I specified that for you to really get the most out of them, you can't just ask for help like vaguely like that. You need to ask them for specific tasks. The way humans work, usually, you want someone to do something, you have to really tell them exactly what you want them to do, or else usually doesn't go so well. So tell them exactly like a specific task you want them to do that can help you out. And usually, sorry, my breath. Usually that'll prompt them to actually do it or to help you out. You just say, oh yeah, it would be nice if you could offer some help sometimes. I don't really see that going anywhere. So, anyways, that's all that I can really think of for the caregiver side. I also talked about staying in good physical shape consistently, having a good, consistent exercise routine. That actually is a good thing to add about the caregiver. That was one point about taking care of your mental health. You have to remember to take care of your own health, because if you let your health decline, how are you supposed to take care of your loved one? It's not logical, really. I know it's hard. It's when you're in a state where you're only worrying about one person, it's very, very easy to just forget about yourself. But it's important to take care of yourself Because the last thing you want is to be in a position where you can't take care of yourself anymore because you let your health decline so much that you're no longer able to, one, take care of yourself and also take care of the one you love. So, um, yeah, if you're gonna, sorry, if you're gonna try to, take care of your loved one, take care of yourself, and that way you can take care of them to the best of your abilities. All right. Oh, okay, I've done 40. I'm gonna go for 60 now. I'm gonna try and do another set of 20. 3, 2. Oh, how? Oh my. That hurt. That burns. All here, here. Yeah, those sets are starting to get hard now. Ouch. So yeah, I was talking about, yes, taking care of your own physical health is important to maintain. It's important to maintain it, and again, like I'm not saying that it's easy. It's super difficult because taking care of someone with Alzheimer's is not something. Well, it's something that's very time consuming as well. So finding time in your day to take care of yourself is not easy. Um, but it doesn't really take much. 20 minutes is all you really need, and like I guess you could wake up a little earlier in the morning, get your workout in before your loved one wakes up. I don't know. It's easy for me to say all these things, obviously, because I'm not in that position. But I'm not saying these things to tell you, oh, do better. I'm just saying that if you do want to prioritize your own health, it is doable. You shouldn't think that it's impossible. So yeah, 20 minutes is all you really need. You don't even need weights. You don't even need to go to the gym. It doesn't take much to stay in shape. Like pull-ups is a really good exercise actually, because it works out your arms, works out your core. Doesn't really work out your legs, but for legs, you can just do body weight squats, or I don't know, you can do a bunch of different things. Yeah, but yeah, all that to say, it is doable. Uh, 20 minutes every day. That's all you really need. There's a bunch of body weight programs on the internet that you can find for the diet part. You know, you should probably uh, fix your diet and also find healthy diets for your loved one, which helps them stay healthier. And I don't know, it depends how far the Alzheimer's has gone, but I guess maybe it's harder to change up their diet. Maybe they only like a specific type of food, so it might be hard to switch up their diet. But it's hard for me to tell because I've never been in that position before. But And the other nice thing about, staying on top of your exercise routine and doing that every day is that exercise is super good for melting away anxiety because it releases a bunch of endorphins when you work out. It makes you feel good. And so that will kind of combat the depression that you could be facing, because I know a lot of caregivers, especially when they take care of their loved ones, they can face depression because it is very hard. You're always stressed, sometimes maybe sleep deprived. Um, and yeah, it's just kind of a depressing thing to go through, honestly, to see your loved ones suffer like that and to just kind of lose who they are. So exercise does help. And also it works as an escape, because when you're, especially if you do a hard workout and your body's like hurting, you're like in the pain cave. It's I I've never, every time I've been in the pain cave, I've never thought of my problems because you're so focused on the pain. So it sounds kind of brutal, but it works. So, all right, what is that? Oh, never mind. All right, one more set of 20, or two more, I guess. But okay, done 60, going for 80. Damn, that hurts every time. Oh. All right, that's 80. So this is taking a lot longer because, yes, I'm doing bigger sets, but the rest is a lot higher. Maybe one day I'll be able to do 20 reps a minute, but for now, I'm not there yet. But it's the reason why I switched it up is because I wanted to get used to doing bigger sets so that, right now I'm kind of stuck at 7 reps per minute. If I'm used to doing sets of 20, 8 reps isn't gonna really feel like much. So I'm just trying to, stimulate my body in a different way so that it adapts, and that way I can become better at pull-ups. Because ideally, I'd like to do at least get to a point where I can do 10 to 11 reps per minute for an extended period of time. I feel like that would be a pretty good number to hit on the minute. Like 10 double digit pull-ups every minute on the minute is not easy to do. So I did it once in one of my videos, if you remember, and I think I got to like minute 5 or 6 before I just completely blew up. So, and it's crazy too because it's only 3 more pull-ups, 3 more reps per minute, but those 3 reps make a big difference. So gotta work on it, I guess. Um, Going back to the caregiver stuff and talking about how exercise can help you with your stress. Also, it almost lets you forget about your problems. Another way to do that, and we've talked about this, is being mindful, using mindfulness through, yoga, meditation, those types of things. So there's a lot of different things you can do to help fight off the bad thoughts as you're going through this difficult time. Exercise is a good way, obviously, and also mindfulness. I find the best way to cope with an issue is to really internalize it and to come to peace with it. That's truly the only way you can really get over something. And mindfulness or meditation or yoga, whatever helps your brain process what you're going through and to really internalize it and to come at peace with it. Whatever you need to do to achieve that, do it, because you know it's a tough thing to deal with, and you can try and exercise to forget about it, but that's just a cope at the end of the day. You know, it's not really solving the issue. I mean, obviously, the real issue is to cure the person with Alzheimer's, but that's not possible right now. So the next best thing is to really come to grips with what's going on and to just simply accept it. Um, One thing that actually, now that I'm talking about it, one thing that I've heard of, and I've tried it before, and it's tough to do, I'm not gonna lie, but it does work, is you take a journal, or you don't have to do a journal, you can take a voice recording, and you write down like the worst thoughts in your head, like about whatever problem you have, like the worst, like the thing in your head that you're thinking of, the thoughts in your head that are there, but you don't want to say out loud, you don't want to admit it's true. For example, like if you're taking care of a loved one with Alzheimer's, you're like, the worst thing is like I'm losing the person that I love because their personality is changing. That's a hard thing to really admit to yourself, but like you're taking care of someone who isn't really there anymore. So this is an example, but you can take a voice recording or you can write it down and you say that thought, like the worst thought you can think of that you don't want to admit is true. It's hard to admit it, but once it's written on paper and out of your head, it doesn't seem as bad. I don't know why, but once it's out of your head, it doesn't seem as bad. And if you take that thought and you read it or you listen to it every single day, it just doesn't seem as bad. And again, I've only done this with things that aren't huge problems. Like this is a whole other level, but maybe you can try it. There's no harm, I don't think. If you really see that it's not helping and it's making you feel worse, maybe don't do it. But I don't know. The second that you take a bad thought and you put it out in the world, that you just accept it, then it allows your brain to really deal with it. Because if you haven't accepted it, your brain doesn't know if it's real or not. But the moment you accept it and you say, okay, this is real, this is my reality, then you can start really healing from it. So maybe try that out. I don't know. I'm not a psychologist or anything like that, so. All right. Last set. Let's go for another set of 20 here. 3, 2, 1. One more. Ow. All right. That's it. Look at my hands. Hard working hands. One more for good luck. that's it for today. That was a long video. I didn't think it was gonna take me that long, but I just need to get used to doing bigger sets. I'm gonna start lowering the rest now. And yeah, so leave like, comment, share the video. More interactions I get, more potential donations. Right now we're at $73. Goal is 5,000. So let's bump those numbers up and let's hit that goal. So I'll see you tomorrow for another 100 pull-ups. See ya.